We are live, baby. We are live. It's good to be live. We're going to be trying a new format today. I'm going to wait for some people to pop up, but we're going to be trying a new format today. We're going to hit two topics and then another one. I'm going to be flowing with some shorts here. So it'll be a fun time. Now, this video that we're about to watch is called Relive Buying a Computer in 1995 in Silicon Valley. What a time it was. Who is here live? Hey, if you're here live, let me know. I want to know in the chat. Say what's up. All right, this video, Relive Buying a Computer in 1995 in Silicon Valley. What a time to be alive. Technology has massively progressed. We have supercomputers in our pocket. We have computers that are now talking to us. Elon Musk is saying that AI is more dangerous than nuclear war. We're putting goggles on and entering into entirely new metaverses. But let's just take a trip back. 27 years ago to 1995. And what it was like to buy one of the first Apple computers publicly available. Now, I know the title says iMac. It's not an iMac, but characters.
So I see that when you buy the Macintosh 600, you're just buying this right here, and you put stuff with it.
Absolutely.
Oh, I see. This is it here.
It comes with a 160 meg hard drive and
So this is some found footage of our gentleman here on the left, this redneck farmer buying a Macintosh computer. Now we got our mustached man is our Best Buy rep or whatever company this is that was wearing that awful purple at the time. Can't be mad at them though. And he's walking him through what are the specs of this computer. Now he says, how big was the hard drive?
So I see that when you buy the Macintosh 600, you're just buying this right here, and you put stuff with it.
Absolutely.
Oh, I see. This is it here.
It comes with a 160 meg hard drive and
160 megabyte hard drive. That is a tenth of a gigabyte. So if your phone has 250 gigabytes, you have a billion times more storage than the first Macintosh computer.
4 megabytes of memory. Has the extended keyboard.
And a laser
also.
printer. She wants a laser printer.
Okay.
But the laser printer isn't Macintosh.
You can get a
buying for the
Macintosh
wife.
laser printer, sure. It's called the Apple Laser Writer.
$1,900 just for this? $1,900 just for this.
Comes with a mouse and keyboard.
And I got to buy the printer, the keyboard. Oh, it comes with a keyboard.
Sure.
And I got to buy the printer. And how much is a laser printer then?
$1,900 for the computer. Now, if we compare the computers, the MacBooks or the iMacs are cheaper than they were in 1995. Everyone talking about Apple being elite. Hey, man, you can get the top of the line one for $1,600. Now with the inflation calculator, that'd be equivalent to a $3,763 computer. I mean, that is a top of the line computer. What's up, Sunshine McNair? Thank you for pulling up. You were 20 then. That's gangster. I was being born in 3 years. Yikes. All right, back to this video.
They're around $7.99.
$7.99 for a laser. Is this better?
This is $19.99.
This is
well,
better.
you know, it has a faster processor. It uses the 68030 chip running at 32 megahertz.
And you got to buy the thing to put the disc in separate too.
No, actually, it's right here, built in. This does come with a version. It's called the 600 CD, and it comes with a built-in CD-ROM.
So in other words, the guy's got to do a lot of thinking what he wants.
Fortunately, somebody.
So you can buy speakers for it too.
And put them on, saved them to the hard drive.
You mean you can take a movie and he'll put it on the hard drive and you can show it back?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. There it is, right here.
Look at that face. He said, so you can put a movie on and watch it back? Oh, come on, dude. But look at his face. This is the satisfaction. Does he have so much to learn of what will come in the following years?
You mean you can take a movie and they'll put it on the hard drive and you can show it back?
Look at his face.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
He's like,
Right here.
oh, come on, dude. And then they got like Godzilla.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm thinking seriously about it. Only I'm gonna also need an instructor to go along with it. See how that works.
Imagine selling an item at that time that people very rarely knew how to use. Very small minority of people knew how to use, and it was popular enough to grow. I guess you can draw some comparison to AI. Is this the laser printer? Oh my goodness. The printing press was invented in 1995. Well, I thought that was the most interesting thing. Watching this man buy a computer. Absolute shock. Absolute shock. Now, they said 150 meg hard drive, megabyte. We now have 512 gigabyte hard drives. I don't know if you noticed, but they also had an M1 tag in there. So they made the M1 come back. But if there's anything we've learned, looking back at this innocent farmer redneck in 1995, is that it will come that technology has come such a long way. It is unfathomable of what can come in the next few years. Think about that. Right now, you are the man with the farming hat on saying, you can watch movies on that? Come on, man. Right? That's what we are about AI. That's what we are about all this new tech that's coming along. But the sad part and the beautiful thing is that this man back then didn't know where it would go. He had no clue that it would take over our young generations, that parents would then plug their kids into iPads, that kids would be raised by screens, cartoons, and YouTubers, that kids would develop massive mental health issues because they're raised on these screens, that they'll create little cults inside of this thing called social media, where they no longer have to hang out in person, where they can update the best parts of their life. He had no clue about that. And so there's more connectedness digitally, but a lot less physically. So if we're watching this happy farmer redneck man enjoying the 1995 life, let's take into account what it might look in 20 years. And maybe make a decision now. Do we need all of it? The end of the world is near. I don't think the end of the world is near. But if you notice, there's actually a trend among Gen Z where they're going back to flip phones. And it's like a whole trend. It's like a new thing. And it's becoming like, oh, just bring your flip phones. Only take pictures on your flip phones. You only have your friend's flip phone contacts. Flip phones are coming back because we're waking up to it. And a lot of people aren't giving Gen Z the credit. Gen Z saw everyone live through it. The millennials lived without it long enough to when they got it, they're still hooked on it. They're in their late 30s and they're like, whoa, this is the coolest thing ever. And Gen Z is like, I was born on this. This is boring. I want to go live on a farm. Gen Z is the digital equivalent of the person that grew up on a small farm and then wants to go to the big city, or vice versa, right? We're just tired of it. We're seeing the effects and we're ready to peace out. And it's not a small portion of Gen Z. But I think this is a valuable lesson to think about. Eventually, we'll be looking at these times and being like, Oh, what a simpler time. Could you can you imagine being like, oh, it was so peaceful. Oh, how times were so simple. Before, when someone hated you, they couldn't just beam themselves up into your master bedroom and literally fight you. Back when you could call the biggest bedroom in the house a master bedroom. Oh, how times were more simple. That's what it's going to be like. So let's take account. Let's take account for this, like the special moment we're in. And also just be cautious. Let's not throw our kids on screens. Let's figure this out. Let's stop it now so we can look back and be like, wow, we made really good decisions. Because unlike the farmer at the fake Best Buy, he didn't know what was coming. We've lived through it. We know what comes with advanced technology. And now it's on us to create barriers. And that's just on some mental health stuff. Building businesses is awesome. That's going to be so cool with new technology. It becomes so much more available. Before you had a computer, like how much more difficult it was to market a business. So much more difficult. But now it's getting easy. So I'm all for it. I'm all for learning these valuable skills, learning how to implement technology. But let's not be amazed by the movies. He was amazed by Godzilla playing on a tiny little MP4 player on a Macintosh computer. And now we have little 4K movies that are 17 seconds long, scrolling nonstop. And you don't even get to choose what you watch. That was back when you get to choose. Hey, I want to watch this. Turn it on. This is like, what is the algorithm going to give me? Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. I'll comment down below. I want to know what you guys think, and subscribe. So I'll see you in the next one. All right, we're going to move on to the next topic. Don't go anywhere. What's up, Anthony? Thank you for pulling up, my dude. Yeah, it's going to be bad. We will be raised by AI is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I refuse. I refuse. I will go back a few decades. All right. We have this Elon Musk thing trending on Twitter. Did anyone see this? Breaking news. Elon Musk discusses creating an alternative to OpenAI, Truth GPT, because it is being trained to be politically correct and to lie to people. All right, let's check it out.
OpenAI would not have succeeded. Quite fundamental to the success of OpenAI, it was I put a tremendous amount of effort into recruiting Ilya, and he changed his mind a few times and ultimately decided to go with OpenAI. But if he had not gone with OpenAI, OpenAI would not have succeeded. I really put a lot of effort into creating this organization to serve as a counterweight to Google. And then I kind of took my eye off the ball, I guess, and they are now closed source, and they are obviously for profit, and they're closely allied with Microsoft. In effect, Microsoft has a very strong say, if not directly controls OpenAI at this point.
So Elon Musk in this portion is saying that he was in the process of competing in some sort of AI attempt, and the guy that he was going to hire chose OpenAI. OpenAI has now become a Microsoft sympathizer. Okay, so he's saying OpenAI is now becoming a closed platform. They're not for the people; they're for profit. Let's see what else he has to say.
Really have an OpenAI Microsoft situation, and then Google DeepMind are the two sort of heavyweights in this arena.
So it seems like the world needs a third option.
Yes. So I think I will create a third option, although it's starting very late in the game, of course.
Can it be done?
He sounds like he just made that up on the spot. Tucker Carlson's like, sounds like we need a third option. And he's like, it sounds like I'm going to make one. He's just making it up. He's like, all right.
I don't know. I think we'll see. It's definitely starting late. But I will try to create a third option. And that third option hopefully does more good than harm. Like the intention with OpenAI was obviously to do good, but it's not clear whether it's actually doing good or whether it's. I can't tell at this point, except that I'm worried about the fact that it's being trained to be politically correct, which is simply another way of being saying untruthful things.
Yes.
So that's a bad sign. There's certainly a path to AI dystopia is to train an AI to be deceptive. So yeah, I'm going to start something which I know you could call truth GBT or a maximum truth-seeking AI that tries to understand the nature of the universe. And I think this might be the best path to safety in the sense that an AI that cares about understanding the universe it is unlikely to annihilate humans because we are an interesting part of the universe.
Ha!
Hopefully, they would think that. I think because humanity could decide to hunt down all the chimpanzees and kill them, but we don't.
So that's the premise. The premise is he's going to maybe make something called Truth GPT. Now, if we know anything about Elon Musk, it's that he's credited as being a PayPal founder. I actually think he bought into PayPal and he wasn't like the original founder. He bought his share or whatever it was. He wasn't the brains behind it. So if there's anything we know about Elon, I could see him buying into another AI and then just rebranding it and doing his marketing genius stuff on it. And his idea is if we train it to understand humanity, that it won't want to get rid of us. Sounds like a bad plan, if I'm going to be honest. Sounds like, I don't know. I almost feel like the politically correct version of AI is better because it has to work within parameters that society is setting. So if we're actually like concerned about the whole takeover, which I'm not, I don't care. The only thing I'm bummed about is I haven't figured out a way to implement AI into like my professional life yet. But I like the idea of it, being a little flawed, being a little sucky. It's like lying to us, but it's like the same way that, Google is censoring certain things, that people are getting suspended for having conspiracies about certain, viruses. So it's one of those things where I'm like, it's going to be like that, but it's still going to be maintained by humans in a way that's going to keep it kind of subdued. Training it to understand humanity and then hoping it doesn't kill all the monkeys like us, it doesn't seem like the best idea. I could be wrong though. I absolutely could be wrong about that. All right, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, comment down below. I want to know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe. Peace. All right, we're going to switch topics again. Now, this is the fun one. Let's see if I can switch. I want to do like a short reactions, quite literally. And I don't know, my goal with this channel, just for the two of you here that are live, is I like entrepreneurial stuff. I like, technology. I like business. I'm about to become a dad. So I also like the idea of, not personal development, but like biblical, solid, just freaking grounded freaking commentary. I'm not perfect. I don't know a lot of things, clearly, but I like to talk about I want to talk about these things and talk about them from a perspective that isn't like, whoa, all the boomers, like the boomers might have gotten it right. What's up, Anthony Karai? Man, this man is holding it down. Grounded freaking commentary that's a very Gen Z way of explaining that that it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. All right. What it's like to become a billionaire. Let's check it out.
How is it to become a billionaire?
Oh, it's just euphoric. Like all the birds
So Kinko's founder, I don't know if you guys saw it. That was a Kinko's founder.
of the world just left.
So you actually felt relief?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, you don't understand the luxury of waking up every morning and not worrying. I like that part the best.
How'd you celebrate?
I took a walk and I was just like joyous, and it was just like, I could breathe again. I probably had a few cocktails.
How is it to become a billionaire?
Oh, it's just euphoric.
Kinko's founder and CEO. So he says it's euphoric. There's a luxury to it. I mean, respect. This man became a billionaire. And what I like is that he's not buttering it up. You notice how the host was like, so you actually felt relief? Yeah, bud. I felt relief. All my bills are paid. All my kids' bills were paid. I'm chilling. That's a pretty funny take, because you always hear from the rich people, nah, man, like, more money, more problems. It was difficult. And then I had to figure this out. Once I made all the money, I figured it out. It's not what it all means. And it's not. It's not all about that. But what I would say isn't that it's all about becoming a billionaire and then feeling the relief, or it's all about the chase and becoming a millionaire and then finding out it's not what matters at the end. I would say it's the contentment in the day-to-day. As a 24-year-old not millionaire, millionless, as we call it on this channel. If I was comparing myself to the other dudes that are making millions doing drop shipping, I'd be stressing. And there's a level of personal responsibility, hard work, and being able to create, an average income, a median income, maybe a slightly above median income that is beneficial. But the reality is, most of us, there's a reason it's called the 1%, right? Most of us won't be there. Most of us might become net worth millionaires, buy houses, invest smart, all that stuff. But I would actually say you don't want to be the Kinko's guy, where you're so stressed and so weighed down that when you become the billionaire, everything lifts off you. Because I would say that that's probably going to make it difficult if you don't hit $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the one billionaire that felt the weight lift, there's a bunch of other not billionaires that the weight just stayed on and they had a heart attack. Right? The weight stayed on, they got a stroke. The weight stayed on and they got stabbed in San Francisco. That's dark. So it's probably better to just be grounded. All right. What do the comments say? Finally, someone with an honest answer and not a generic money doesn't buy you happiness spiel. Respect. I mean, that makes sense. Finally, a rich person that makes being rich sound like it actually is. And that is true. You definitely are paying your bills. You're set. Probably the next difficult part is finding something to work on. And that's the other thing. You're always going to be working on something. I can finally enjoy a billionaire being a human being, keeping it real as always. And those are a lot of upvotes on those comments. So the general consensus is I'm glad a billionaire is being honest about the wealth. Now this next one is Jordan Peterson makes careers sound depressing. I mean, Jordan Peterson is about to crush your dreams here.
The first lie is you're going to have a career.
Oops.
Okay, no. A tiny fraction of people have careers. Maybe the lie is you're going to have a career. Okay, no. A tiny fraction of people have careers. Maybe 2%. Okay, most people have jobs.
Yeah.
And the definition of a job is an activity that you get paid for because you wouldn't do it voluntarily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first of all, you're not going to have a career. You're going to have a job. Second, most jobs aren't very desirable. They're not very meaningful. They're not the center place for your life. And even if you have a career, like, for example, if you go into law, you're going to find that it's very, very demanding and very, very difficult and very, very stressful and very, very competitive. And you're not going to find the fulfillment of your desire, for example, for intimate, close interpersonal relationships in a competitive domain like law. No. It's just not going to happen. And if you go and be a doctor, then you're going to be looking at 60-hour weeks. And so careers are exceptionally demanding.
Wow. That's heavy. Let's run it back.
The first lie is you're going to have a career. Okay, no. A tiny fraction of people have careers. Maybe 2%. Okay, most people have jobs.
Yeah.
And the definition of a job is an activity that you get paid for because you wouldn't do it voluntarily. Okay, so first of all, you're not going to have a career. You're going to have a job. Second, most jobs aren't very desirable. They're not very meaningful. They're not the center place for your life.
Jordan Peterson drops some truth bombs that are kind of harsh, especially if you're like looking at careers or you're just working your way into a career. But there's some, and I'm sure at some point in that original interview, there was something actually very life-giving that he says. But this episode is about shorts. So we're just sad. We're just hit with the reality that we're going to be working our faces off. And you're going to be sacrificing something that you love. Your hobbies, your family time, your free time, your other goals outside of work to earn money. Now that is the curse of man going all the way back to Genesis, right? Adam and Eve were kicked out of the garden. Woman was cursed with pain and during childbearing, and man was cursed with thorns and thistles while working the fields. Basically, work is going to be difficult. Now, in a Western society, if you're of able body and sound mind, right? You don't have debilitating mental health issues, and you have a body that can work, you can actually make work pretty saucy, but you're not going to fall into it because the natural state of work, the natural law will dictate that it's going to be difficult and you might not like it. The question is, how do you end up liking it? And from what I've seen, people older than me, and what I'm trying to model is, what life do I want to have? What does that schedule look like? And what is work that can fit into that schedule while I'm building it? Meaning, I'm not going to try to work 100 hours a week, because when I hit the goal, it's still going to require 100 hours a week. Does that make sense? Oh man, I'm just going to work my face. I'm going to build $1 million business. I'm going to work 100-hour weeks. And then when I get to the $1 million business, I'll be good. And then you realize the only reason you're doing $1 million is because you're working 100 hours a week. And your family is destroyed. You don't have any personal life. Your wife is mad at you. Like, that's not a way to live. So what I'm trying to model is, even at the expense of revenue and income, what can I do that's going to generate the most amount of revenue in the least amount of time? Legally. Right? What can I do that's going to generate the most amount of revenue in the least amount of time legally? So that when I hit this goal, I can maintain it inside of my current schedule that I also already really enjoy, that gives me time with my family and time with my wife. That's not easy, but that's also called boundaries. Sometimes it's as simple as working your face off during the week, but making sure you're not working on the weekends, having very intentional time with family Saturday and Sunday. Intentional time for yourself to just rest, to not be burnt out. I'm in a season where I'm doing extra things on top in my free time, after work, but I will be able to work it into my schedule because I will be able to drop off other commitments once revenue picks up and evens out, if that makes sense. Let's see what the comments say. Let's see if I can get these comments in the screen. Oops. Oh, goodness. Let's pull this down. Alrighty. Well, I just messed up my layer. Okay. Comment says, this is why I hate job applications and job interviews. They always assume you want a career in whatever field their job is in, and they always assume you really want a job for some reason other than money. I really want to just tell them that I don't want the job they are offering. I just want a job so I can eat and pay my bills. Now, that's not necessarily the best mindset to have, but I get the point. It's like the employer always wants to hear how like, man, I'm just really excited to work with a good team and a good work environment. And I'm just really excited to build something that's going to change the world. And like reality, it's not changing my world. I'm a hard worker, but at the end of the day, I'm here because I need my bills paid. How interesting. Turning 28 next month. And as a lawyer, I can confirm there's no desire for close interpersonal relationships. Workdays are on average of 13 hours. Yikes. Yikes. I agree. I was in my mid-30s when I discovered that I indeed had a career, but what I wanted was a job and a life outside of my career. Work to live, not live to work. He had a career, something that was extremely demanding. He was in the top whatever percentile. And he really wanted a job. He wanted to clock in and clock out because he wanted the life outside, you know, especially when your hobbies aren't super demanding. Some people are like, my hobby is traveling the world. Some people's hobbies is freaking going camping in the desert 2 hours outside of town. Not too demanding. Doesn't cost a lot of money to do that. So you got to be honest with yourself. Like, do I want to clock in? Do I want to clock out? Do I want to build this solopreneur business in a way that's 100 hours a week? Or do I want to build my solopreneur business? Maybe it takes a little bit longer, but I still have my life. Hey, man. All the things you can learn from a Jordan Peterson short that you never realized you could. How's everyone doing? Thank you guys for pulling up, all 7 of you. What's up in the chat? Should we do one more? We can do one more. Let's see if we have another good short in here. Okay, I thought this one's kind of funny. We're gonna peace out with this one. But now I gotta fix this freaking. I gotta fix my daggone. Screen. There we go. It's not too bad. Sweet. All right. Let's hit this last one. All right. Let's move on to the next one. We got a towel boy impresses LeBron. And what the lesson we can learn from this towel boy. All right. Check it out. Oh man, he's hustling. Look at that man run. With the claps. All right, look at LeBron in the background. He said, yeah, that's right. All right, watch this kid run. We're running back one more time. He runs, he goes, cleans up the mess. He's working his face off. He's got the sports glasses, sprinting back, hits the high fives, bang that chest. Now watch. Yeah, he said, that's my puddle. And LeBron says, heck, that's right, boy. That's right. That was his puddle. He destroyed that puddle. You know what lesson we can learn from that man? His work ethic. That's right. Mama Sperrazzo up in here. I love his work ethic. I love his work ethic too. That's amazing. There's always, there's some kids that are a little autistic-y, little on the spectrum. If not that, a little dorky, but we all are, right? I probably am. That's why it's called spectrum. But they work their faces off. I heard something that the more like a lot of really successful people are actually on the spectrum, or like a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because they have that little trigger, the obsessive thing that they're able to do something very, very well and very efficiently and be very passionate about it, even if it seems not super strong or like not super important. But this man worked his face off for that. And he took it very seriously. He hustled down court. And he got the props from LeBron. You know why? I bet LeBron didn't say a lot of things to a lot of those actual basketball players. I'm sure he just watched. But the one kid that worked his face off, probably not going to NBA. Okay. But he may get an amazing job. Mama Sperrazzo also says, do everything you do unto the Lord. Amen to that. All right, let's check out these comments. Kid has heart and passion for his job. Big respect. 15,000 likes. I'll give it a like. That kid wants that 6-figure towel boy job in the NBA. Is that true? Do they have 6-figure jobs in the NBA for towel boy? Because if they do, he's instantly hired. Also, I'm sure he was pumped because he also knew LeBron was there. So he's like, I'm showing out. This is all I got. They cut me from JV. This is all I got. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it amazing because LeBron's here. He's the embodiment of whatever you do, be the best at it. That's like the watered down new age version of the verse. Do everything you do unto the Lord. Bron, if that's our towel boy, AD would never slip on the court. Well, now we're moving into NBA jokes that I have no clue what they mean. But hey, man, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. Comment down below if you enjoyed this kind of segment of compiled clips, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. All right, guys, I got to bounce. Thank you, Righteous, for pulling up. Thank you, Casey, for pulling up. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everyone's work ethic, everyone's time spent on the stream. We're just a small family at this point. All right, peace. I got to go help my wife make dinner.